I don't think that's a
So the thing that I find strange is there are a lot of strange things about it, but the thing I find strangest about this election and what got me interested in writing about it is that is the emotion involved. Tremendous.
Is it recording?
And on the one hand, Americans say that they're very, very angry at the mediocre presidents they claim have existed over the last few decades. So anger is the first emotion, and then they fear the consequences of their mediocre decisions. Well, I mean, if that's the way they feel, that's the way they feel. But to make matters worse, they're supporting candidates who are worse than the presidents that anger them. So wouldn't you agree that that's a pretty confused electorate?
Isn't that like?
Huh?
I was just thinking myself that it's not about mediocre so much as middle of the road, partisan-wise, ideology-wise.
Yeah, but George W. Bush was not middle of the road in any way, shape, or form. They particularly hate this Obama. They claim that he's, I don't know what the hell they claim. Why do you suppose? What was Obama's most famous appearance was on that Daily Show. Remember we talked about that?
I think so.
And he accused him of, what did he accuse? Now, this guy Obama never gets angry. He really is the most placid guy. But the only time I ever got angry was when they accused him of being what? Remember the word that they used?
I don't remember the word.
Tepid.
Tepid.
And he got angry because it's true. Now, why would you be angry at a guy? Why would you get angry at a guy who's kind of like essentially a non-entity? What would you think? I mean, it's clear to me because the rancor that he what do you think is the reason?
Well, they say he's tired.
Maybe he is. Did they feel the same way about Bush?
No.
No, they didn't. I mean, the claims that the American voters are making are not invalid claims. It's just that they're applying them in very, very strange ways, is what I'm trying to say. Well, it's clear to me that it's all about racism. I don't know what else it could be. I don't know what else it could be. I mean, you might be disappointed. That's the word I would use in Obama. You could be disappointed that he went further than you wanted him to go, or you could be disappointed that he didn't go far enough. But he certainly doesn't deserve the rancor that he's been getting. Now, it also demonstrates the depth of racism in this country. Let's look at Obama, for example. First of all, he had a white mother whose parents were farmers in the Middle West,
Kansas.
right? His father, who he says he saw once in an airport for a few minutes, is not an American black, he's from Africa. So he never saw his father. The mother didn't spend much time with him either. She was traveling around, getting degrees around the world. So essentially he was brought up by farmers in, you say Kansas?
It was Kansas.
In Kansas. Is Obama really black? I mean, but this guy is causing American voters to go out of their mind. So a number of demagogue candidates in 2016, there's a number of them. Like all demagogues, you know, they're very shrewd. When they see confusion on the part of an electorate, first they're able to locate the confusion, and then if they find a way to exploit and manipulate the confusion for their selfish purposes. So a number of candidates have demagogued the situation. What does that mean? Take America back. What the hell does that mean? Make America great again. We have the strongest economy in the world. We have the lowest unemployment rate for a long, long time. If you look at the people in the huge audiences for people like Cruz or Trump or Carson, for example, they're well-dressed, middle-class people who probably have 2 cars and a motorcycle and an RV in their family. I mean, it's just the strangest phenomenon. I'm going on 73 that I've ever seen in my life.
So you think it's taking it back from multicultural? Take it back from the blacks?
It really is, yeah, that white men, especially, with the help of their dumb wives, can see the handwriting on the wall. That white Protestant middle class wasps are no longer going to rule this country, and they're panicking.
Are Democrats using the Take It Back slogan too, or is that just a Republican phenomenon so far? Y'all have to forgive me.
No, the closest it comes is Bernie Sanders. There's no chance that an avowed socialist preaching revolution is going to become president of the United States. I mean, does not even have a 1% chance. So what you have is the 2 leading candidates is an avowed socialist preaching revolution and a proto-fascist, Donald Trump. I mean, now, that's kind of like Germany in the 1930s, where the economy was in the toilet, where communists were fighting fascists, and the most infamous demagogue of all, Hitler, saw the situation and used it to his own advantage. But in the United States, it hasn't gone that far, thank God, but the seeds of that are right there. Take America back again.
So why do you call him a proto-fascist instead of a fascist?
It means that he's approaching,
But it means it's not
fascism.
arrived?
Hasn't arrived there, because he has no ideology,
Right.
right?
No,
Only so far you can go against the Constitution without being fact-checked a little bit, I would think.
But for have these people who have, Sanders is a great guy. By the way, do you know tonight who the stars of Saturday Night Live are going to be? Tell them.
Bernie Sanders and Larry David.
Yeah,
oh no.
We
yeah,
have got to see that.
yeah.
I love Larry David and I love Bernie Sanders.
He's a wonderful. He's a wonderful guy. He talks like me. He looks like me. We come from we both come from Brooklyn.
Bring it back in.
And he's a wonderful guy, but there's no chance in a million that he'll
So
get
you
elected.
think that even with all the polls, where for instance in Iowa he got 49.6 and Hillary got 49.9, you think he's unelectable?
Absolutely unelectable. This is the United States of America.
So
We're a middle-class capitalist
agree?
country.
what do you think?
Oh, okay.
I think he's electable. I don't think he's able to do the job. I think there's too many things, too many institutions that are opposed to his actual beliefs.
I mean, I can see a lot of gridlock. I really could, yeah.
I can't see anybody in Washington to do anything.
Every senator's, like, every single senator, even people on the left, like Cory Booker, are all very,
They can't.
very pro Hillary Clinton. And it's like, I mean, yeah, they almost tied in Iowa, but Iowa's not representative of the country.
I can't
Well,
see
he's
Donald
leading
Trump
in New
getting elected.
Hampshire.
That's not representative of the
That's
country.
true.
So,
We'll just say
so where do you think the support is coming for Bernie Sanders? With Trump, it's pretty
Young
easy.
kids, young college kids.
People don't like Hillary Clinton though, so I mean, there's only 2 left. No one else is jumping in.
Well, let's talk about Hillary Clinton. Do you like Hillary Clinton?
I like her, but I'm not enthusiastic about her campaign. She just seems too establishment for me, I guess.
What does that mean, establishment?
I feel like,
By the way, we throw around these terms
Yeah.
without establishment. I don't know what that means. They're also progressive. Do you know what the historical meaning of? You hear this all the time. Do you watch these debates?
Yeah, I've been watching.
So much of the
debates.
last debate was about who's more progressive.
Oh.
Do you know what the historical meaning of progressive means? It comes right from the word.
It's the tax.
Huh?
Woodrow Wilson, right?
Theodore Roosevelt. Not mistaken.
It has, the original philosophical meaning is that human beings are progressing all the time. That's where the term comes from.
I think my
Teddy
concern,
Roosevelt didn't call himself a progressive. That was a term that was applied to him.
I think my concern with Hillary Clinton is a lot of flip-flopping. She seems to be adopting a lot of positions that Bernie has held during his time in the Senate and as mayor in order to appeal to his demographics. But I don't feel like she's very convincing. I don't feel like she's very compassionate about what she says.
That's where I disagree.
You know,
What?
I disagree with the compassion. I think out of all of them, she's the most compassionate.
You think she's the most?
Compassionate.
Do you think she's a feminist?
We've had this, me and you had this argument before. I say yes, you say no.
Why? I don't remember. What did I say?
You say no because she didn't divorce Bill when he...
Well, are feminists supposed to, is one of the values of feminism independence?
Yes.
Well, is she independent?
Is it absolute
I would
independence?
say
you're talking
yes,
about?
but I don't say because she didn't divorce Bill over his infidelity that makes her less of example of feminism.
If it's independent, shouldn't she just not have gotten married in the first place?
You can get married as long as the relationship is based on integrity and trust.
Maybe that was never
That's
the case.
one definition of it. I would think.
That's one definition of marriage, a relationship based on integrity and trust.
Yeah, that's
Maybe it
one
was
part of
based
it.
Isn't
on
that what the
mutual
vow
benefit.
says? That's what the vow is. What?
Maybe it was based on mutual benefit.
I've always sort
Think
of
love.
seen their relationship as assuming that they, I mean, I obviously don't know them, but I've always assumed they have like an open marriage, to be honest.
everyone assumes that there's no love to it. That
Well,
it's
it's the House of Cards thing.
a political marriage more than anything, right?
I have no idea. I don't know how I could possibly, if I was married to a woman who, by the way, this guy is a serial philanderer. It's not just
Yeah.
once.
Yeah. So there's something else, you know,
Well, I
for
mean,
some other reason.
I don't
They're
know. Could
together.
you imagine, do you have any idea what kind of school Stanford is?
Yes.
I'm
I thought it was an open
talking about the
question.
kind of people, like the kind of people that go there.
Yes.
Well, tell them.
Well, I mean, it's not all just affluent, privileged people, but for the most part, the idea of college, most universities that are of quality are like that.
I mean, the personality of the community.
Oh, elitist.
I went to but also pretty nasty people. I went to a school, Duke, that's very similar.
Elitist.
Very nasty. Could you imagine what it must have been like for that girl to have been a student on that campus while all of this Lewinsky stuff was going on?
Oh, his
I mean-
daughter. Let me hear talking about the Duke girl.
No.
Well, you can imagine it must have been just. At any rate, I don't think she's a feminist. I don't know what the relation is. Just like everything else that's going on here, it's just the strangest.
I think it's a representation of the feminist values. So whether she walks the walk or represents those, I mean, those are two separate
People will
things.
still apply it to her.
And I think it would take a lot for her to do something that was opposed to a feminist policy platform, wouldn't it? Like, I would think that.
Well, I'm telling you that if you stay with a man who over and over again has
What does
embarrassed
that matter?
you, and
I would think that wouldn't matter, though, right?
not as far
Do we
as I
care?
see.
I mean, we care that the religious politicians do their religious stuff, but do we really care? So much as they talk about it and they follow it publicly.
If a guy who was religious turned out to be a hypocrite, he'd be hated more by religious people than they would by secularists.
Sure, but
So she's a hypocrite, just in the way that a religious.
well, I would think that if the religious person is voting against abortion, voting against Planned Parenthood, voting against the anti-religious policies, that at least there's that appearance.
And was caught by a hooker in the middle of the night
Hey,
downtown.
Jesus
and ain't-
forgives.
Do you think
Yeah, they
feminists are
forgive,
gonna
but
vote
they
for
don't
her?
vote for him. What?
Do you think feminists are gonna vote for her?
Gloria Steinem came out recently, I think it was today.
Yeah, she
It
did. She
said,
said,
What?
women only like Bernie to impress men, to get dates with dudes.
And that's certainly
And
not
that
true.
they're not really into Bernie, they're just doing it because they want it.
But Bernie Sanders shared that platform with Elizabeth Warren, who's the huge female icon in politics right
A
now.
lot of
Elizabeth
people's
Warren.
dream teams are Bernie Elizabeth ticket. That's
I bet you any amount of money, well, not any amount of money, I bet you a large pizza that between,
They gave you free.
before this is over, that Elizabeth Warren is going to join ranks with everyone else and say, I'm pro Hillary.
Well,
Are you
why?
including the general election?
Because,
I see it too, honestly.
you know,
For the party.
Bernie is not going to get elected, and and she probably is going to be the nominee, and once you've, put yourself out there, you're going to be in her bad graces, and it's just smart career-wise,
Well, it's a party. He said it. It's a party. You have to support the
Party
party
politics.
candidate.
Yeah.
He's not really a
Without
Democrat.
support screens and
They
stuff.
all should. Bernie will come out for Hillary too.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. It's the way things go. But I don't know if it's such an easy walk for Hillary to get the nomination. I know it seems like it is, but it was, the trend was obviously toward him winning.
So that's what I was going to ask you, Dr. Fishman.
Where do you gain 30, 40? Who has gained 30, 40 points ever?
If you've looked at his grassroots stuff, he's gained.
Who?
Bernie Sanders. He's got a tremendous grassroots, I think more so than any other candidate by far.
The
It-
comparison's always brought to Obama in 08, how same.
I don't think it's even close.
I'm saying it's similar though.
It's
I'm
similar.
saying it's the same thing, but like,
Yeah, they said-
who's Obama, then he.
Right, they said that Hillary was
Really
like for
primaries.
sure, and then it turned, and it was right in the middle of one of the debates. They
Right.
asked like his biggest strength, and Obama said, "I can bring people together," and Hillary Clinton's like, "Well, I've got experience," but Obama's answer very clearly, "I feel like I can unite, the two party. I feel like I can unite America and bring it together."
That's the one thing he hasn't done.
That was his big thing, and people heard that, and they jumped ship from Hillary. And it was a sure thing that Hillary was certain. But what I find so interesting about Bernie Sanders isn't necessarily him or the movement, but it's the grassroots support of people who seem very disillusioned and disaffected by politics, and then all of a sudden they have this fervor, this enthusiasm, and it's so many of them.
Yeah, but Bernie's not